the whole way the gaming industry has gone, it's like decades ahead of where the anime's at. And I wonder if that's because they kind of grew at the same time. Like the culture of gaming in America was its own thing, and the culture of and gaming in Japan was its own thing, and they kind of grew together, benefiting each other. Like they send games to each other. And I wonder if that's the reason why that industry went so fast, and why sometimes people can't even tell if a game is from Japan.
Well, yeah,
right?
I think it's
like
also because American games now, now they're making games in America and in Europe, whereas I feel the anime industry won't do that until we get dedicated people who are making it in America and making it in Europe.
Because I guess when the Japanese businessmen in the 80s or 90s are making video games, they were like, oh yeah, there's tons of gaming in the US. Let's go and send our products over there.
Yeah.
Whereas there's there's no anime there. Let's not bother doing anything.
No, I would also say that from my perspective, I feel like the anime industry has always been in my opinion, kind of 10 years or so behind the gaming industry.
I feel 20 sometimes.
Yeah, 10 to 20 years in terms of the popularity and how big the industry is. Because gaming right now is probably the most mainstream entertainment medium there is now, right?
Gamers?
Sorry, gaming makes more than movies now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so gaming right now
because you can't put microtransactions in a fucking movie.
That's true. You
can't roll for your gacha in the middle of Parasite. You know what I mean?
Would you like to watch the rest of this movie? $5, please.
Yeah, but I would say within our lifetime, we've seen gamers rise up to become the most biggest entertainment medium in the world now, right?
When are the weebs going to rise up, man?
It used to be movies. Now, do I think anime is going to become as big as gaming? No. But I would say that anime right now is also rising up. Weebs rise up.
It's on its way. Yeah.
It's on its way. It's getting more popular.
But isn't it weird though that I feel like all the money that the weebs have is being siphoned off into anime games.
Yeah, that is true.
I bet more
anime games and VTubers.
I bet weebs spend way more on anime games than they do on anime merch and anime.
100%.
100%.
So all the weeb stuff, all the weeb money, they're just going in the fucking games.
It's going to the gaming industry.
It's going to the gamers.
It all comes back to the games. No, yeah. I mean, I feel like probably if you interviewed the average anime fan, not the average anime fan, the average weeb, I would say, the average person in the weeb culture, they probably spend more money on games or VTubers than they do on an actual anime,
a figurine or a manga or something like that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, 100%.
It's weird how that's just the way weebs work, but that's what I feel weebs put most of their money into. Maybe in 2020, maybe it's because there haven't been anime conventions or other things they can buy. But I would say that the more I watch anime, the less I buy figurines and stuff like that. You know, do you feel I mean, you're a hardcore JoJo fan, right? So you put a lot of your money into JoJo merch.
But I invest in JoJo stock.
Yeah. But now you look for the most exclusive stuff, right? You don't just buy the cheap. No,
I don't.
Right?
If the figure's under $50, I'm not interested.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm that's peasant stuff. Get that out of here. Because those figures are also cheap, and also when you realize that you start collecting a lot of figures, the one thing that becomes more valuable than the figures is the room they take up.
Yeah.
So then you're all right, now I have to decide which figures are worthy of the display.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to do that too with exclusive paintings or limited merch items and stuff like that.
I'm sure that sounds so fucking.
Sounds so fucking.
I'm so wealthy.
Yes, I'm an art collector.
But it's when you do start collecting figures and you start getting a lot, you're like, this $5 Goku figure, I kind of can't argue it deserved the same spot as this $200 hand sculpted Rem fucking DNA engraved, thing.
Not even figurines though, but anytime I go to an anime convention or stuff like that, I much rather buy shit from the artist alley and things that independent artists are doing, because most of the time they make cooler stuff than the official figures most of the time, or the official merchandise. It's just I don't understand people who go to anime conventions and they buy buttons. To me, buttons are the stickers for me, right?
The metallic.
I hate buttons.
Japan is fucking obsessed with those.
Yeah.
Why?
Whenever I go to a pop-up shop for you hear an announcement where there's a pop-up shop for X anime series or Y anime series, and I remember the first few times I thought, wow, cool, they got exclusive merch there, and it's 90% of them are just buttons.
Yeah.
And to me, like, buttons are the merch you buy when you don't, when you can't commit to buying an actual merchandise. You know? That's what
When
buttons
you
are
have
to
that
me.
chump change in your pocket,
Yeah,
you're like,
right.
I can pay for this, yeah.
It's like the equivalent of, you know, when you go abroad and you're like, oh, I guess I got to buy a souvenir, right?
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
to Paris and you go like, oh, I guess I got to buy like a fucking Eiffel Tower key ring.
Yeah, it's literally the equivalent of like, I was here. Yeah. It's like, I was at that pop-up store. Here is physical proof. I was at that pop-up store. A 500 yen shitty like can, like tin can thing.
Yeah.
But then they gadgetify it, so you can't even buy the one you want. You have to,
Yeah,
you have to
exactly.
buy like 500 fucking buttons until you get the one you want.
There are people though that I see that have, you know, like
Oh, the whole bags.
their
like
entire
that.
bag or their entire like denim jacket or whatever is just like covered in them, and they sound like a fucking festival.
Why would you
walking
put a
through the
bunch of
town.
barnacles on your clothes? As far as I'm concerned, right? That's what it looks like. It looks ugly.
Yeah.
It's ugly, and I won't stand for it.
People like it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.